Welcome to the Waseca Small Town Big Stories podcast, brought to you by Bird's Eye Foods and Itron. I'm your host, Ann Fitch, the Executive Director of the Waseca Area Chamber of Commerce, where we promote business and enhance community. Today, I'm joined at the Suburban Furniture table by the owner of Small Town Media and Production, Nick Wobig and Cory Stencel. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Yeah. Nick, you're usually on the other side of all of the cameras and the lights. And Cory, you're usually out in the lobby helping a plethora of people when I get here.
Yep, we're running around. So
yes, it's always a buzz of activity at Small Town Media and Production. So I want to talk about definitely how you two got started in the media and printing business, and then how you two work so closely together. Because yes, you're Small Town Media and Production, but there is kind of I don't know how to put it on how you guys work together. So I'll let you two talk about how you work together. But Nick, I want to start with you because you are the owner of Small Town Media and Production. And how first of all, you're just new to Waseca. You're a couple years old in town. You're just a baby Wasecan.
Yeah. So my wife and I moved here with our son two and a half years ago. And first thing we did when we came to town was join the chamber. Mm-hmm. We had a good experience being on the chamber in Pine Island, where our business originated. And got to know you, got to know Christy and some other folks in town. And then January of this year, or of 2023, we opened up shop here at the Quality Print Building in Waseca.
Sure, right on State Street.
Right on State Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, so my background, I guess, is in digital media. I got an internship, or actually was a job shadow when I was in high school at a radio station, and fell in love with it and said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I want to be the radio guy.
What radio station?
It was Laser 101.7. And they also had 102.5, the Fox country station, and then an AM sports station, all in the same building. So
very cool.
Yeah. So I started there part-time, did a lot of the sports broadcasts, just running the boards, answering phones and that kind of stuff. And then it was a Clear Channel station at the time. They laid off about 50,000 employees across the country. Oof. Right in 2008, 2009. And that's when I would have turned 18 and signed my full-time contract and was laid off as part of the part-timers. So had to readjust and went to UW Superior for interactive media was my major.
What does interactive media mean, Nick?
So at the time it meant, my understanding was it's the video, audio, graphics, kind of everything that folks interact with. Not like the video game stuff, which is kind of what I thought it might have been. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot of the theory behind media. So why you make the decisions you do, and why do a certain style when another one might be a good option, but that kind of thing.
Sure. Because there is a behavioral science behind media.
100%. But it wasn't a lot of hands-on, like make a video, do audio, like produce something. So after a couple of years at UW Superior, I went to Lake Superior College in Duluth and did a 1-year program there in digital studies. Media studies and production. And there was all hands-on. And I jumped right into the program, had a lot of the prerequisites done, obviously through Superior, but jumped in as class lead on a bunch of projects, and it was great. I had that kind of upper hand, and I was older,
sure.
A lot of the incoming freshmen. So got to put a lot of it to work and did a lot of really cool audio broadcasts, a lot of video work, a lot of graphics.
What a neat way to do it, because you got the why ahead of time, and then you got to put that into action when you're in Duluth.
Right.
What a great path. What a great path.
Yeah.
And so when Small Town Media and Production started, forgive me, what city did you start at? Pine Island area?
Correct. Yep.
What were they doing then when you first started your company versus what are you doing now?
Sure.
Because I know it's a transformation.
Yeah. So we started as a real estate photography, videography drone and 3D scan business, essentially. With my history in video and stuff, combined with another one of our owners, Steph, she's a photographer. We said, how can we put our backgrounds to work here? And we both said, and I guess I should back up even further. I was a wedding DJ, had my own wedding DJ business.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Started sophomore year of high school. So did that for about 10 years. And it's the people part of it. It's really hard to film and take pictures of people because you miss it and it's gone. It's just done. So we said, what can we do that utilizes these talents and stuff? And went with real estate, hoping we can kind of put ourselves in the market with all the extra technology and really amplify what we can offer to real estate agents. And then the housing boom came and we weren't needed anymore.
Right.
So we leveraged ourselves and our extra talents, I guess, into building websites for folks and providing other people the value add that we were trying to provide ourselves. And we realized we don't have to just do this for real estate agents. We can do this for others, and just started climbing and expanding on the services that we offered from there. So,
because you utilize drone photography still.
Yep.
And you have the Matterport. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Matterport. Yep.
See, I pay attention when you talk. I do. And that is that photograph that will give you almost like an overhead 3D shot of the home, or what does the Matterport do when you're looking at real estate photography?
Sure. So it uses LiDAR technology, which essentially uses light as a laser and measures and scans an area in a 360 circle and provides or creates this mesh of everything that it sees. And then it overlays the image that it's taking as well on top of that.
Okay.
So you can use it for measurements. It's within 1% accuracy of true measurement, which is good and bad. Like if you're using it for a commercial building to make adjustments or whatever, your 10-foot wall is going to be off by a few inches.
Yep.
You can't have that.
Probably really want to use a real measuring device.
Right. But in the real estate setting, it's perfect. You can look at a wall, we work with some real estate agents now still and do the 3D tours. And if you're looking at a house online and you go, well, we just bought an 85-inch TV. Is that going to fit over this fireplace? You can click the measuring tool, see it, and you're good. Or how big is this bedroom? Will our king-size bed fit there? You can use it for those kind of value adds for the real estate agents too.
What a big deal for somebody buying a house that lives 75 miles away to be able to look at that and maybe not have to drive over for the 5th time to look at a house or something like that.
Right. Well, and that was our story too. We lived in Rochester. We're looking at houses in Waseca. We couldn't just call up our real estate agent and say, hey, let's go for a drive, because it takes a lot of time out of their day, a lot of time out of our day. So we were able to take away all the homes that we knew we wouldn't be interested in just by taking a 3D tour if it was offered. At the time, it wasn't a lot, but it came in handy a lot.
So real estate photography and videography was kind of your bread and butter. And then it all changed with the real estate boom waned. And so now what are you doing? Now, I know you still do real estate work because I've seen the work with a lot of real estate agents in the area. But how has it shifted?
Yeah. So now we are primarily a digital media and marketing firm. We have a plethora of tools that we use to work with people to grow and promote their business. That can be websites, search engine optimization, social media management, Google advertising. We do geofencing and other services like that. And then on top of that, we moved into the quality print building and created a really natural workflow with the folks at Quality Print, Cory.
Yep, Cory.
And Nikki, obviously. So now we can offer really the full gamut of things that our customers need, as well as working with Quality Print's customers and offering them our services as well.
What a great segue into Cory. Now, now Cory's kind of he's a Gutenberg guy. He's been in printing for quite some time, and he really knows so much about all the different types of printing. He's really a font of information, and I think that Cory is a little humble about how much he does know about printing and the care and the craft that he has. And so, Cory, talk about when you got started in printing. First of all, where are you from, Cory?
Well, I grew up in Waterville.
Yep.
Born in Waseca.
Thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Yeah. So my statue in the future or whatever.
Right. For your bronze bust.
Yeah.
Which could probably be made by Small Town.
Yeah. I started working at Quality Print in 2007. I got hired under Joe Glenn to design magazines and filling in the back, running presses and bindery equipment. And then from there, I got connected working kind of like through Brown's workflow, through working at Quality Print, Clear Lake Press, because we did a lot of fulfillment work for a lot of different printing companies. And then I just kind of went from Quality Print to Clear Lake Press, where I learned apparel, wide format, and more press stuff. Then went to JC Press, kind of did the same thing.
What's a wide format? Tell me what give me an example of wide format so the listeners
So your
know.
Banners, car graphics, signs,
okay,
window decals.
Got it.
Stuff. Which that area has really grown over the years. So I've kind of gravitated towards that. Mm-hmm. The school banners, and you'll see my stuff around,
Absolutely. So you went from Quality Print to Clear Lake Press.
The JC Press.
Mm-hmm.
They got bought, or Clear Lake Press got bought by JC Press. And then I came back here because Curtis asked me to come back home to Old Quality Print.
Sure. Because eventually Curtis Smith bought from Joe Glenn.
Yep.
Bought Quality Print from Joe Glenn. Even before that, you said you worked at Taylor Corp, right?
Yeah, 2 years. Now it's Navitor. But during my college at South Central for graphics applications, I worked full time at Navitor, and you had to do in-shop time at school every week. So kind of like a part-time job on top of your schooling, then doing the Navitor graphic design and typesetting business cards for all the big companies, Office Supply, Staples, Office Depot, you name it.
That's really cool. So you've been in printing really your whole career.
Yep.
And the design aspect is really what you enjoy.
Yeah, I've always gravitated towards it. People say I'm creative or whatever.
I think you are, Cory.
I really got interested in printing from my aunt Kathleen, who worked out at Brown's for many years. She worked in pre-media. She used to bring home the separations, like Ninja Turtles and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Like, what is this? And then I kind of learned over the years what she did. And that's where I wanted to work, but history, they closed and all that. But I'm happy with what I've done so far. So
when you say separations, tell me what that is.
So like when you're making printing plates, it's made up of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different angles of screens that come together to make full color images.
Yep.
So she'd have like the black outlines of like, the cartoons or whatever ad was in there.
Sure.
And then I'd sit and trace them or whatever. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep.
That's super cool.
Yep.
So do you like to design stuff for people when they bring it in, when they say, Cory, I don't know what I want. I know I want like a dragon breathing on a cupcake for my kid's 9th birthday.
Figured it out.
And you just do it.
Yeah.
Like, is that something you really enjoy?
I like it. When it comes to more business stuff, if someone brings a example of what they want or an idea, then we can narrow it down, and 2 days we can have you a design out the door, maybe even quicker. More input a customer gives me, I'm basically just the hand you're moving it, because I want you to have what you want, not what I want. But I know how to make sure it looks appropriate when it's printed or on screen or wherever it's going. So
yeah, I think it's crazy how fast your creativity can work. Both you and Nikki, who also work here, it's amazing how quickly and creatively. Thank you, creatively. You can produce things that look so good. For those of us whose minds just don't act like that, it really is amazing.
I think from printing, from working in the shop, from work, I was taught from the beginning, you work backwards, like if it's going to be cut or where it's going, kind of determines how I'm going to design it, whether it's for a t-shirt, if I know there's going to be it's a black t-shirt, we're not going to need any extra colors.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going on glass or you name it, each media has its own specialty kind of when it comes to design, I don't know.
Has there been a material that you thought you couldn't print on, but you found a way to print on it? Because I know you're problem solvers here.
We have a couple different, we have a lot of different ways that we can apply graphics to hard surfaces right now. We had an order for some shot glasses for a bachelor party,
mm-hmm.
and they just very simple design. And we tried our methods and couldn't get it to work, to the point that we bought a laser engraver.
Oh, okay.
And, the ads all said engraves on glass, it's crystal clear or whatever. 2 hours into using it, and we were through a dozen shot glasses of just botched work. So luckily it was a family member of mine that ordered
mm-hmm.
them. So I just called her up and I said, I don't know. We can't figure this one out.
Right.
So glass has been tough. We can do acrylic.
Okay.
That's really, really nice. Flat acrylic.
Yep.
But we can cut it in different shapes and sizes and everything. But that has a backing on it. So you're able to, it's not completely transparent.
Interesting.
So but other than that, I think we've printed on just about anything.
We'll find a solution one way or another,
Oh yeah, I've come in here before, and you guys are racking your brains on how to get something done for a customer. It's interesting because customers don't see all your trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
They just see you've taken the order, you've corresponded with them about the design, and then you have all this background work, and then they get their product in a nice small town bag.
Yeah,
here it is. Here's your finished product. Then, to your knowledge, we had no issues with this whatsoever.
Exactly.
And this was smooth sailing.
And that's a really good point of something that we've tried very, very hard to do from day one. Is we want to be very easy to work with,
mm-hmm.
be overly communicative with our customers, and make sure that they know we have this taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, there's a lot of ruckus in the background maybe, but we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
So we give ourselves a little cushion, making sure that we're not over promising.
Yeah.
But it's been a great workflow.
Yeah,
great
we balance each other.
Yeah.
We balance each other really well too. Like if it's customer service stuff and I'm working in the back on one of those fun projects, he can fill in for me or vice versa. So
tell me how. I don't want to use the word partnership because it's certainly not a partnership in the professional sense. But this professional cohabitation.
Sure.
How did this start?
Business challenge.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you two did not know each other previously.
No, correct. No. So we, when I mentioned my wife and I signed up for the chamber, we signed up for that small business development challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the full name of it, but whatever.
Yeah.
The
whatever.
Challenge.
So yeah, we signed up and we did a 10-week course together on just some of the things that people might not think about when they start a business or want to expand their business or whatever. So Cory and Nikki were there for their print and tattoo stuff. We were there for still the real estate photography piece and learning everything we didn't know about business, and so through that class, we got to know each other. I think it was after the class, I started getting some print orders from customers, and they'd ask, hey, we worked with a clinic that wanted to take a bunch of their old textbooks and digitize them. So they needed them cut from their binding. They needed them rebound once we had them scanned and digitized. And I knew a guy in print. So I was in here at least once a week for a couple months, business cards, other promotional materials, and paper. And eventually he just goes, hey, would you guys be interested in renting a space here? And we thought, we never thought of a physical presence before. Everything we do is out and about, or, on the computer in my basement. So,
right.
We talked about it, and it ended up working out great. We have a nice remodel in our space, and we're able to kind of bring small town media physical. So
yeah, it's been really great.
Yeah, and then that just further has expanded the professional partnership or the professional cohabitation, as you called it.
Yeah.
To where quality print customers will come in and go, hey, do you know where I can get a website? And Cory will say, Nick's right here. Talk to Nick. Or someone comes in, one of my customers, and hey, we need new business cards. We need new whatever. Can you help me? Yeah. Cory's right here.
Cory, how has it affected your workload, your workflow?
It's added some business, expanded my skills. I've started designing web ads and stuff kind of on the side to help Nick out. We exchange little things, so I've learned a whole social media ads, the algorithms and all that fun stuff. Sorry. Plus this fun room and all the other fun stuff we're developing on the other side. So
yeah, it looks like you have learned just a lot more about the media side than that you would not probably have been exposed to without this partnership. And I know that Nick has learned a whole lot more about the printing business than he ever intended to.
Yeah.
Than he ever intended to, for sure. Nick, why'd you choose Waseca?
So we were living in Rochester and wanted to kind of raise a kid in a small town like I did. And we started looking around the Rochester area, and the housing costs in the first kind of ring, Pine Island, Byron, Stewartville, very expensive.
Yes.
So we actually started looking south in the Caledonia area in La Crescent, and really enjoyed it there. Just didn't find the sense of community and stuff that we were looking for. It was just very quiet towns in the summer. You'd think that those types of towns would be busy.
Right.
So we started looking west and made it through Owatonna, and then had a house pop up in Waseca. And we drove in on Old 14, past the campground, baseball field, all that stuff.
Yep.
Saw the lake, saw the town. We're like, well, this is home.
Oh, that's awesome.
To be home. So
we do have a pretty good entrance on that side of town.
Yeah.
I mean, coming up Elm Avenue, and if you came in the summer or the fall and you saw all the great trees hanging over Elm Avenue, I don't know how you wouldn't want to move here.
Yeah. So we moved in June of 21. We moved in, and as Waseca was houses are going really fast here too.
Mm-hmm.
So we made offers on half a dozen houses in town before we got an accepted one.
Sheesh.
And so we're really, really happy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, Cory, you didn't venture too far from home, being from Waterville. It was just easier because you worked in the printing biz over here in Waseca, so why not make it home?
Yeah. After a couple of years doing the commute, which wasn't much, decided just to purchase a home over here, I think in 2013 So I've been over here since, and I love Waseca. It's small enough, but big enough at the same time. You know, I don't know.
Absolutely. And I know you love Waseca because I know how much that Quality Print and Small Town give to Waseca in the form of donations and discounted printing and things of that. And if you don't love your community, you don't do those types of things. So it's very evident on how you feel about your community.
And that was something that when we started Small Town Media, that we wanted to be of importance. So it's the owners of Small Town Media are my wife and I, and then two friends of ours, Riley and Stephanie.
Okay.
Riley's dad and my dad both owned businesses while we were growing up.
Oh, neat.
Both of their offices were littered with youth soccer team sponsorship photos and plaques and stuff like that. It was really important to them. And it was really cool to see their involvement in the community. And, whether big or small, they loved it. And so we knew we wanted to do that as well.
It's impactful.
It is.
It's very impactful, even if it's a $50 donation or a little break on printing a program for whatever organization's fundraiser. It's impactful. It's very impactful, and those organizations remember it and they appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yep, and that's what being part of a community is all about.
Yeah, and the community supports us way more than I mean, having a brick and mortar location has been great for us. The community's support is amazing, so you have to give back.
That's awesome. Now, before we started recording, it was set up a little bit different. You said you had the BPA kids in here.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you've been working with the school a little bit and recording in the podcast room here.
Sure. So we're working with Sandy Schumacher's class. She teaches the Business Professionals of America course. And so we're helping them design apparel for their school store. And also for BPA, there's individual projects that students do. And one of them is a newscast. And so we had 3 students in here over the weekend. We had this turned sideways. 2 of the girls were sitting at the desk as news anchors.
Cool.
And so using the green screen to really create that news vibe.
Yeah.
And then we're going to record a weather segment tomorrow night and compile everything this weekend and get everything really wrapped up. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Another instance of giving back to the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's cool too, the students who are in here. And I know you mentioned in a previous one that part of Ms. Schumacher's class is watching these podcasts. Shout out to the students who are in here. I asked them, how much involvement do you want in this? Like, how much do you need from me on the editing part? Like, we want to do everything. I was like, okay, cool. Like this is not easy pass. Could have said, can you just edit it all, add the green screen effect and do what you need to do? Easily could have said that. And I would have said yes.
Right.
But them saying, no, we want to be here and like watch and help and make decisions and do all that. Okay, these students they got their heads on it, right?
That is so awesome. I love that. I love that. Yeah. And just having this room is really, really neat. I've talked to my colleagues around other chambers, this size of community and bigger, and they would love to have this in their community. So just having this is a service to our community. Whether you pay for the space or not to use it is irrelevant. Just having this as a community asset is huge, 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 having a podcasting room. So thank you for having that in our community. Because we get to do fun things like this, and I get to talk to you guys and other business owners. So it's fantastic. I appreciate it tons. And also thank you, Birdseye and Itron, for sponsoring this. I say it at every podcast, but truly it's an awesome sponsorship. Talk about what's on the horizon for Small Town. What's happening that you can talk about, because I know every entrepreneur, every business owner, they all have plans, but they do keep some of those plans very close to the vest, because that's part of being a business owner. You're not putting all your business out on Front Street.
Right. Right. Well, since opening here in January, we're recording beginning of December. So in 11 months, we've gone from offering websites and strictly digital products and services to we have wide format printing, we have apparel, we have signage, we have the studio. So the real goal would be to expand on all of that and expand our footprint on who we can reach and who we can who we can work with.
Sure.
So and even from the graphic design standpoint, which is something I can do it. What takes me 8 hours takes Cory 8 minutes. So when he's being humble, when you say he's being humble, he really is.
He
one
is
of the most humble individuals when it comes to his talents. But yeah, just working with customers. And we had someone reach out to us last night saying, can you help us design some beer can labels? Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Sign us up. And while I won't be the one making the design, I'll be the one working with the customer, working with our graphic designers and kind of helping the whole thing, So when I see it in the store, I'm not going to go, I designed that, but I can go, I had a part in that.
Sure.
So that's the cool part of it. And whether it's sports apparel or whatever, seeing what we've created out in the community is really, really cool.
So right now you're just looking to expand your reach.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Now we're looking at Cory's shirt here, and it has Small Town Media Production, Small Town Studio, and Small Town Inc. Talk about the difference in the three.
Sure. So we wanted to really let people know that we have three major different service offerings. So we have the media and production, the digital marketing, photography, drone, that line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ink piece is all of our printed materials. So that's the wide format, that's the apparel, all that.
Okay.
And then the studio being this green screen podcast studio. So really just letting people know we have those three things. When an invoice comes through, it's going to come from Small Town Media. They aren't three separate businesses. They're all under one roof.
Got it.
But really just three service offerings that we piece all together. So we can offer one customer or client all three and have one point of contact, no headaches, just.
Okay. Got it.
So, and Small Town Inc. would be, in an expansion or in a future plan. Small Town Inc. is where we really want to see growth, and Cory has a lot to do with that.
Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Cory's maybe the guy to ask about the expansion of Small Town Inc. past paper.
Yeah.
Because Cory's got the tattoos, and Nick, you don't have any visible ones.
Right.
Yeah. As things grow and we get the other parts rolling as efficiently as we'd like, I'd like to pursue to bring tattooing to Waseca, full service tattoo studio. It's just another level for me to express myself as an artist and as a creative. Like I've done everything else. I've wrapped cars and missiles and you name it. Now skin's going to be my final frontier for that part of my career,
That's so cool. Would you do tattoo removals too for people who either maybe had a regretful tattoo, maybe they got somebody's name tattooed on them and they said, I don't want that anymore.
During the challenge,
or just, whatever.
During the challenge, I did a lot of research into the tattoo industry and removals, right up there with it,
Sure.
If that's an offering we could bring in along with putting them on and piercing and all the other fun stuff. Yeah, let's do it.
What's it take to get a tattoo artist? Because I know that Minnesota has some pretty strict laws around that.
Yeah,
they seem to be a little stricter than other states, I guess.
Yeah, I believe you have to have 200 hours apprenticeship under a licensed artist.
Wow.
One idea was to possibly bring a licensed artist in and we apprentice under them. We'll work out a deal so I can still maintain keeping all these other things kind of under guys or whatever. But yeah, we'll find a way. We'll get it done. So.
Because you've designed some of your own tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a passion. It's a challenge. I don't know. I think it's something new and exciting to bring to the community. And hopefully once we start bringing more young interns that want to go into the creative field, we'll be able to say, hey, what do you want to go into? Start with business cards, move your way up to windows, and then if you want to go to skin, we'll be here for that.
Can you do cosmetic tattoos too? With that,
it might require a separate license.
Okay,
but yeah, that's another thing. Your eyeliners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's a whole other market. So
yeah, because there's a lot to tattooing. It's not just getting.
It's an art and skill unto itself.
Yeah, it's not just getting rock and roll. On your arm.
There's the good ones. There's the bad ones.
Yeah,
it has to be respected. I want to do it right, and I want to bring the top talent, or be trained by the top talent into Waseca. So
yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a really neat expansion.
Yeah,
that sounds like a really neat expansion because I know that tattooing has been tried in Waseca, and it hasn't always been the brightest and most put together tattoo businesses. And I think that's where it has not succeeded in Waseca long term. It's you go to the guy above the thing and you knock 3 times and then turn the light bulb on and off, and then you can get in. But I think if it's a well-run, respected establishment, there's no problem with it succeeding.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great addition to Waseca when that happens. Now, I know that some folks have said, printing is a dying industry and things of that nature. And maybe in some respects, you could say that. But it seems like it is always buzzing around here and people calling in print orders. What are you seeing as trends in your industries?
I think on my side, quantities have changed. It went from, I need 30,000 of this to 3,000, commercial printing's changed. Well, it's kind of dried out in this area, but there's always going to be that demand of business to business, smaller scale, small, medium business. There's always going to be a need for your basic business essentials, your forms, your envelopes, letterheads. So that demand's remained pretty strong, but those long runs or any of that, it's kind of all disappeared.
Interesting. I couldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I've seen it from both sides, really. With that clinic we were working with specifically, taking everything from paper and digitizing it. So instead of printing off all the handbooks and stuff that they were doing on a regular basis, everything went digital. How do we get this into an app? So we just do it one time.
Yes.
We get it out to everyone who wants it. And the quantities are infinite. You could have 1 million downloads, but having 1 million of these packets on hand is, it used to be the only way.
It's not feasible anymore.
Right.
It's not feasible.
Exactly. So, it's nice in the Marching Classic, instead of doing a physical program this year, they decided to go digital as well. So, it's a lot of the same work on the back end. But instead of printing off, whether it's, do you print 50, do you print 500? It's for a one-time event, it's hard.
Very hard.
Make it digital. Here's your QR code. Here's your link. Here's whatever you need. And here's your program.
Yeah.
One time. So.
And with the advent of the Cricut.
Yeah.
And people being able to, Cory, you pursed your lips. You shook your head. Tell me about how it's changed with people being able to make little one-offs at home. Like personally, I'm not into that. And I will pay Cory X amount of dollars to make me a customized shirt because I'm not going to make it. I don't want to make it. I just want you guys to do it. I want you to take my money. And that's the kind of person I am. I'm not crafty. I don't want to do it. And some people just really love that. Like, I'm getting the Cricut. I'm getting that Tumblr printer thing, whatever that is. I'm going to make all this stuff and I'm going to have my best life. How has that changed your business and either demand or other little shops just popping up and being competition? And it's not necessarily, maybe it's not huge competition, but cumulatively, if you have a bunch of folks doing that, you're like, well, doggone it. That just took away like a little bit of our business, but they're budding entrepreneurs as well.
Absolutely. No, you need those people. You need the crafters. You need those types. Prime example, we had a guy come in who had been doing little signage using a Cricut. And a buddy of his said, can we make this bigger? And he said, no, I can't. I have an 18 inch or 17 inch, whatever the Cricut size is. That's as big as I can go. And then he came and talked to us and he said, how big can we make these? I said, how big do you want to make it?
Sure.
We can make it the side of a building with the technology we have. So, he ended up doing some really, really nice, like 4 foot by 5 foot American flags.
Cool.
And that's maybe, I don't want to sound too critical. It's really easy to take the vinyl and stuff that we print or that a Cricut can cut and stick it on a piece of wood and call it a sign.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yep.
I think the real artists are taking what we do and taking the reverse of it, and painting, using it as a stencil and putting paint on paint instead of stickers on paint.
Okay.
It's really cool to see that. And this guy brought in one of his finished products and was like, hey, here's what I've made with you guys helping. And it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's needed. We're not in the business of putting signs together.
Right.
We'll provide the graphics for the signs.
Mhm.
So, like I said, you need those people who are the crafters.
Yeah.
And that's just not up our alley.
Yeah.
Maybe
we like supplying do-it-yourselfers, like doesn't matter, it's just fun. Someone's interested in creating,
Absolutely. They could be a
sticking their finger in
future,
the water. Maybe they like it.
could be a future employee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody brought in something that they created on their Cricut, like the file,
Mhm.
you could make it on a larger scale for them if they didn't have the capacity.
Correct.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mhm.
So their concept started at home on their Cricut, and they could bring that in to make it bigger. And maybe if they wanted some wall art at home, you guys could do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll just refine their idea, find the right application for it, and go from there.
So somebody did like a customized charcuterie board with a graphic on it. They said, I love that graphic so much. I want it on my wall in my great room. You guys could make that graphic as big. And then they have a matching charcuterie board and their matching great wall.
Absolutely. Yep.
Done deal.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I don't have a great room with a big wall, but if I did.
Well, that's the other part too, is, when we start working with people, especially in the graphics department, we always want to know where they're going to put it. And what are your aspirations for what if it's a one-off dill pickle shirt, cool. You already have the artwork.
God, who did that?
Yeah.
It's weird.
You have the graphic that you want. You just need it put on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. But if you come in and you tell us, I'm going to a pickle festival. I want to show that I like pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll work with you to really drill down on what you're looking for. And then as we create the graphic, like Cory said before, just having it available in all different formats. So we can put it on your wall, we can put it on your car, we can put it wherever you want it. The nice thing too about a community like Waseca is if you wanted a custom fire pit cut out of metal, like a metal ringed fire pit, we know people. So we'll work with you on the file and put it in a format that a CNC machine can use and get it cut out. If you wanted wood, foam, whatever you want, just because we don't do it here, we know people who do that.
You have other trusted vendors that you work with.
Exactly.
By the way, that pickle shirt that you did do for me and my friend when we went to the pickle festival in Baltimore was highly sought after. We got many compliments on it. They said, where'd you get that shirt? I said, it's custom and copywritten, so don't even try it.
Right.
Not necessarily copywritten, but whatever, it will be.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for all of your creativity and artistry.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Oh, I'm glad that you guys can really work with the at-home crafters and creators, because I think that's an important relationship to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have questions, just reach out, I'll help you.
Yeah.
And as Cory said, it's a shared passion. So, we apply it to different mediums, and if theirs is the small crafty stuff, great. It's the same artistry.
Mm-hmm.
So being a part of that community is really cool too.
What are some of the pieces of equipment that you have to have here? I mean, you're not just using a printer like that people have at home or even in their office. I mean,
right. Where it really starts is the computer power. We've invested in the right computers, the right software to be able to handle multi-level graphic design, video, all that kind of stuff. But then from there, it's maybe Cory's better to talk about the hardware.
For like the printing side, we have a latex printer up to 54 inches wide. As soon as it prints, it dries. So we put it right on your wall right after it. There's no curing time. So any kind of large format graphics, your banners that come in, posters, stickers.
I think it's so cool you can make stickers here.
Yeah.
Like that I don't know why that's so interesting to me, but you can make stickers.
Yeah, and if you want special shapes, like an outline of something, from there we'll put it on our plotter machine. So we'll put that roll in, it reads a barcode, and then we tell it what you want it to do. If you want to cut it out of the paper or just perf it out, and then it's on your desk, And then for our apparel side, we have a heat press right now. Then we have a color press that we can print transfers right now. So if you want that shirt same day, next day, we can do that. Otherwise, we use screen printed transfers for our larger orders right now. as we expand, we'll get more machinery, but it's a process for that. That's pretty much it out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of screens. You're right about the computer power.
Yeah.
Because you guys do have a lot of computers here. Holy cow.
Yeah. It makes it fun though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
We both started on machines that had no business running graphic software, and we'd
Black Friday computers.
Yeah. We'd be sitting there just going, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm waiting for this to load. Well, I'm waiting for my computer to restart because it crashed.
Yeah.
And, it just added time. And now we've got Mac studios and custom built PCs. And it's great. It's great.
Yeah, you have to have that or else you're not going to get anything done. Your customers aren't going to get their products. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. What do you think you guys would be as successful apart as you are together?
No, it's definitely a 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah, he balances my crazy when it comes to the creative stuff. So yeah, reins back. That's too crazy.
Well, you need a little crazy when you're creative, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy drives creativity, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that in abundance.
Well, good. I'm glad that you two were able to connect. I'm glad that you've become Nick and Cory, because I do hear that a lot around town. When someone has any type of multimedia or print job, just go see Nick and Cory. Just go see Nick and Cory. Have you talked to Nick and Cory yet? Just try Nick and Cory. Mm-hmm. So your cohabitation, your professional cohabitation is becoming a partnership around town that people are recognizing. Before we wrap up, fellas, I like to ask, when you were in high school and before kids, before reality, before all this, when you were 17, what did you think you were going to do? Cory?
Well, I wanted to go into nursing, but I've always kind of pursued a musical career too, playing bass guitar, but nursing was the big thing, but then kind of fell back into my old graphic stuff. So here I am.
I think you would have been a good nurse though, too, Cory. Mm-hmm. You're a very caring person. I think you would have done great at that.
I wanted to go into radio. That's what I wanted. That's what I knew I was going to do. Like
on air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have been good at that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, great radio voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was the advertising piece. It was all of that that job shadow part-time job led into that kind of world and opened my doors to what an on-air personality could be, and doing ads for businesses as large as Menards and Home Depot and stuff like that. And that's good paychecks. Mm-hmm. But then.
And now you're in the marketing space.
Yeah.
So you're close enough.
Yep. Now we work with radio stations and people come in here and record their ads. So.
People record their ads in here too?
Yeah. Yeah. If they're doing like a radio piece. Yeah. Yeah. We've got so these are really nice microphones. We also have a real like sound booth microphone back in my production area. Mm-hmm. And then people will sit there and record their ads.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys do a lot of stuff here. Yeah. I've learned a lot today.
Yeah.
Jeez. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out from behind the computer today, Nick, and out from the lobby to come back here and record, Cory. This has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed learning more about your business today. You guys do a great service to Waseca. You really do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Waseca Small Town Big Stories. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Itron and Bird's Eye Foods. Without them, we could not tell the big stories of our small town. And thank you to our production team, Small Town Media and Production. Join us again next time for another episode of our podcast, Waseca Small Town Big Stories.